Thanks, Bobby. My name is Kyle Boyle. I will be following up when Bobby's done talking about Zillow Showcase to talk to everyone here about listing media services, our local real estate photography operation, and I will pass it over to Vanessa here to intro herself as well.
Good morning, everyone. So I am Samson's dedicated customer success manager. So I will go over my contact information at the end so you can reach out to me with any needs you might have.
Awesome. Thanks, Vanessa. So let's go ahead and get started. You guys can see on my screen here, I'm just currently on the Zillow Showcase homepage. But I wanted to start off by just giving some more context to what Zillow Showcase is, as well as our strategy with the product before hopping into some live listings and talking through some of the data points and value claims that we have on our Showcase product to date. So what's really exciting about Showcase is really for the first time, Zillow has created a product catered directly towards listing agents with the ability to edit how that listing appears on Zillow.com and how it is marketed. That is ultimately focused on converting sellers, right? Using this as a product to win more listing appointments and convert those sellers, as well as selling the homes quicker. And I will talk through the experience of the listing, as well as some of the strategies that listing agents are taking with this product across the country. And then, as I mentioned, I'll talk a little bit high level in terms of where we're at with Showcase. So with Showcase or Zillow Showcase, the whole idea behind it is it's an elevated listing experience with eye-capturing media, as well as different product functionalities to capture leads as a listing agent on that product, as well as to significantly boost or enhance the listings visibility on Zillow.com. And to give you guys a bit of an understanding of where we started with this product, we did launch in a handful of markets in late Q4 of last year. And as of early January, we launched this product nationwide, right? So regardless of where you're located in the country, agents, teams, or brokerages can purchase into this partnership and to ultimately provide this opportunity to their listing agents. On the firm level, just as Samson, Donnie, Sarah, Mary Alice, and the team have done through your brokerage. And just to give you guys a better understanding of kind of the strategy with Showcase, as well as our current impact, the goal for Zillow is to showcase roughly about 10 to 15% of listings across the country. Where we're currently at, just so you guys are aware, we're probably around 3.5% of active listings across the country being showcased through Zillow and with this product functionality. So we obviously have quite a bit to go, but we will continue to focus on pushing this experience and providing a benefit for the listing agents to really, impress their sellers and market their home in a really unique fashion on Zillow.com. So let me go ahead and switch my screen here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a standard listing on Zillow. And you all will hear me say standard and Showcase listing quite a bit, at least in my portion here. When I'm referring to a standard listing, right, that is going to be 97% of how listings appear on Zillow.com across the country. And we won't spend too much time here, as many of you are probably familiar with how a Zillow listing appears online, but just for sake of the conversation, you'll see on a standard listing, nothing too crazy. Obviously, we're feeding directly from the MLS and the IDX feed that has been set up. So up towards the top of this standard listing, we will have static images that were captured for the property and uploaded into the MLS. As we work our way down that standard listing, you'll also see data points in terms of the traffic that listing is receiving. And right underneath that, you'll also see listing agent branding and details down below, right? So as many of us are aware, on these standard listings on Zillow.com, it is incredibly hard for the consumer to identify who is actually listing that property in that specific market, right? So for this example here, obviously we're seeing, William Brian Jameson is the listing agent for that property. And there's really no easy way for the consumer to contact William Brian Jameson or to engage with him through the standard listing. If they were to do so, obviously they can copy and paste or find more details just by researching more online. But it's not the typical route that a consumer is going to take on Zillow, right? What they're typically going to do is they're going to go ahead and see these two different contact options that are available for them to select, which is request a tour and contact agent. As many of us are familiar, both of these consumer options go directly to our Premier Agent network, right? So if I am a consumer, I select request a tour. That is going to be delivered to a paying agent in the marketplace in that given zip code, team or broker, or it could also be sent to a flex partner, right? So a partner who is receiving leads through the Premier Agent network and paying a referral fee ultimately on the back end. Right. So again, nothing crazy here. We won't spend too much time on the standard listing. I think everyone's probably familiar with the format on a standard listing. So let's go ahead and switch to a showcase listing. And what you'll notice first and foremost is the experience on a showcase listing is much different than that of a standard listing, right? So first and foremost, you'll notice the carousel images up towards the top that we have selected to rotate to really draw the consumer into this specific listing. You'll also notice underneath this carousel imaging, it is not hard to identify, right, who is listing this property, as well as what brokerage they're working for, and to learn more information about them specifically, right? So for this example, we have a live Samson property, right? So this is Carolyn Young's profile. Obviously, she's working with Samson, and we can see her headshot as well as more details about her business, ultimately in her experience in the market. So what's really nice about this experience is not only is the media eye capturing, it draws consumers into that specific listing, but it's also a really, really great way for you to brand as a listing agent right underneath this media, right? And I talked a little bit about the enhancements of these listings and the boost that we are providing, which again is also playing into a great branding opportunity for you, the listing agent, to showcase your property in this fashion, right? So one other thing to note in the carousel image up towards the top, you as the listing agent have the ability to select 3 to 5 images that were captured for the property. That can be either exterior or interior. That will highlight and continue to rotate, or excuse me, slideshow through the top portion of the showcase listing. As we work our way down the listing, right, underneath this agent branding, what we'll also notice is we actually segment the media differently on a showcase listing, right? So you'll see as I scroll down my screen, right, the kitchen, the family room, the primary bedroom, a few of the focal points of that property are segmented down below on the showcase listing. What we refer to that as is group by room functionality, right? So we are leveraging artificial intelligence through the showcase product to highlight or select specific rooms that we do think should be highlighted or segmented down below. But again, it's important to be aware that we might highlight something through our use of artificial intelligence. You may think differently. If that's the case, you can absolutely edit your listing before it goes live to focus on something else ultimately in that property or a different room that was not selected. A few other things that you'll notice in the group by room functionality is we're really making it extremely easy for the consumer to work through specific rooms in the property, right? So you'll see the photos tab that's listed here for the kitchen. I can also quickly go to the 3D tour for that property and scan through, and I can also reference the floor plan, right? If I want to get a better sense of exactly where the kitchen is located in that property. Right. So all really, really nice. Again, you have the ability to edit anything you'd like on the showcase listing, right? So whether it's your branding, the photos selected up towards the top, or even the rooms that are grouped down below. Some other things, and Kyle will talk a little bit about this in detail, but it is important to note that any agents that are going to be leveraging Zillow Showcase through Samson, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in just a second here, it is required that they have an internal floor plan as well as a Zillow 3D tour, right? So Kyle will talk a little bit more in detail about our listing media service business as well as how to capture that. You also can reference and use your local photographer. It is important that they're able to capture Zillow 3D tours as well as floor plans for that property in order to showcase it on Zillow.com. So I'm going to pause there. I think there might be a question in the chat. I don't know if there is. Okay, so we did have a question in regards to the floor plans as well as the 3D tour. So Kyle will talk a little bit about the markets that we support, where you can actually have us come out directly to capture the media, or you can use your local photographer, and we'll provide more resources on exactly how your photographer can capture this media if they don't know how to capture it already. So thank you for that question. And any questions that continue to come in the chat, we'll just do our best to answer them, but we'll definitely answer them prior to our conclusion. So I did want to talk a little bit about the contact options on a showcase listing as well. So again, they are different than that of a standard listing. The consumer has the ability to request a tour, right? If they go ahead and do so, that will continue to go directly to the Premier Agent network. But really, for the first time, the consumer has the ability to contact the listing agent directly on a showcase property. All right, so if I went ahead and contacted Carolyn directly, I fill out the form, that lead is delivered directly to her. I think it's also important to note that on a mobile device, right, when a consumer lands on a showcase listing, right, it is actually click to call when they contact the listing agent, right? So if they hit Carolyn's button, it'll actually hyperlink a click to call action for the consumer to quickly call Carolyn with any questions about that property. Right. So a really, really nice benefit to receive listing leads on a showcase property. But again, our main value claim to showcase and why you should be using it is the elevated marketing experience, converting sellers, so on and so forth, and really impressing your sellers with how you can market that property. I did also want to note just quickly on the lead front, any MLSs that do allow for coming soon, right? So if you do, or if you are a part of an MLS that allows you to do coming soon listings on Zillow, the listing agent is actually the only option that appears during that coming soon period. And then also, as soon as this listing goes pending or under contract, we will also remove the Premier Agent button as well. Right. So Carolyn would be the only option to contact, whether it was a coming soon potentially, or it's pending or under contract on the reverse side. Alrighty, so let me hop off that listing and let me talk a little bit more about the product functionality and some of the data claims, and then I will go ahead and pass it to Kyle. So a few different call outs here. One of the things that we are doing with showcase listings, again, they appear much differently when a consumer lands on the actual listing. But one of the other things that we're doing is we're making them appear differently on the Zillow.com map. Right. So, for example, someone is searching in XYZ marketplace. Typically, if they're on the Zillow.com map, that's going to represent hundreds of red dots that signify for sale properties in that marketplace. For the showcase listings, what we are doing is we are providing what I refer to as an Instagram sparkle, as well as a showcase tag on that property. And I will be honest, it doesn't seem that life-changing of a product functionality, but I can assure you that consumers are noticing the differences, obviously, on these showcase listings, and they are clicking and engaging with these listings at a faster rate than all of the other red dots that are appearing on that Zillow.com map. So that's a really nice feature, again, to click and drive more exposure, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what that exposure looks like in just a second here. Some other really cool things that we're doing as well, and this actually might be my favorite part, is we are marketing this property pretty significantly through the showcase experience. So what I mean by that is there are many agents on the call who are probably familiar with Zillow marketing campaign emails. They typically come in the fashion of, hey, Vanessa, here are the 10 recommended homes for you based on your search history on Zillow, right? Those are 10 different listings, 10 different listing agents, 10 different brokers, so on and so forth. It's a little bit hard to digest, and there's really no easy way to kind of click into the property on that standard marketing campaign. So with Showcase, one of the things that we are doing is we're doing single property marketing alerts. Right. So what that means is if we're identifying consumers are searching in a marketplace, right, where you have a showcase listing, right, it's comparable to what they're looking at, considering we know exactly what they're looking at on Zillow.com. We will market this property to them directly with all of the media, as well as branding for you, the listing agent, and a quick way for them to contact you directly through that marketing campaign, right? And the numbers are pretty impressive. So when agents are bringing showcase listings to market, we're roughly sending that email to about 600 recipients, in which we have about a 50% open rate, right? So about half of those folks are opening and engaging ultimately with that email that's being sent through. So this is a really, really great product functionality. This is something that has been co-branded with the Samson logo in your marketing center to insert into listing presentations and really drive home the value when you're sitting down with a seller, All right. Not only showing them a showcase listing and walking through the experience and how it looks so different from all the other properties on market, but also leveraging, hey, we can use, kind of Zillow's data on the back end and the folks that are, saving and looking at comparable homes and market to them directly through this showcase partnership, which is really, really powerful. And I talked a little bit about exposure, obviously. All right. So the listings look different. They appear differently on the map. The media is great, so on and so forth. We're also driving a pretty large lift in terms of the marketing for those properties and the showcase products. So what are we seeing ultimately? And this is what we're seeing. So active showcase listings on Zillow are driving roughly about 81% more page views, 75% more saves, and 85% more shares than comparable non-showcase listings in the marketplace, right? And this is, again, very similar to the marketing campaign email, something very powerful to put in front of a potential seller and why they should work with you. And I think it's important to unpack this a bit further, meaning a lot of the questions that I get are, hey, Bobby, I have a listing, right? If someone searches in XYZ town, my listing is going to be the first one that appears in the Zillow search bar on the right-hand side. And that's not necessarily the case. Very similar to that of the marketing campaign email. Anything that we're doing around enhancements and getting this listing in more views, more exposure is, of course, highly targeted. All right. Meaning, if Vanessa is looking in a marketplace for 300,000 and your showcase listing is in that town, but is listed at 750, right? It's not going to be in our best interest to boost or enhance that listing to Vanessa, who is not looking at comparable properties to your showcase listing. So again, it is highly targeted based on consumer search history and data on the back end, how we're driving this exposure, and then it's valuable exposure that we're driving for your sellers and for your property. A few other things that I wanted to touch on before I conclude on pricing and how to engage. So it's not only for new listings coming to market or to the MLS. There are agents across the country that are utilizing this for existing listings, right? So if you have an existing listing on Marketplace, maybe activity has not been great, the sellers are getting a bit uneasy, I would definitely recommend showcasing that property. You can see the data here. Obviously, we're getting more increased page views on those flipped listings. And it's a really, really great way. And I know agents across the country have utilized this to negotiate an extension on that listing potentially, and really come up with a unique marketing plan if the sellers are getting a bit uneasy, ultimately, in terms of the activity currently on their listing. So that's another great point, obviously, that you guys can flip existing listings to showcase. And then two other slides here that I want to just quickly talk you through. It is an exclusive offering, right? So we have partnered with Samson, where you guys can get this solution directly from the brokerage, which I'll talk about. But I think it's important to note that each marketplace, we're going to cap at 10% of active listings in the marketplace, right? And the reason being is that, as many of you can imagine, if every listing agent in the marketplace is offering this solution, it becomes a whole lot less valuable for you as well as the seller. So we will cap it at 10% of active listings in the marketplace, with the hopes, obviously, that when you are meeting with a seller and they are meeting with 4 or 5 potential other listing agents, that you are the only agent that is providing this opportunity or this solution through Zillow, which hopefully, along with everything else that you're doing in your business and your brand, gets them to ultimately sign that listing agreement with you. So I think it's really, really important in terms of the capacity and the strategy of capping markets across the country. And then in terms of some additional data points, just quickly, that I want to cover with you guys, and sorry, I'm operating on one screen today, but we are continuing to dive deeper into the data, right? Why is this product valuable? What we are seeing is showcase agents across the country are winning over 20% more listings than similar non-showcase agents in the marketplace by providing this solution. We're also seeing that showcase listings are roughly about 10% more likely to go pending in the first 2 weeks than comparable listings in the marketplace. And we're actually seeing that showcase listings are selling for roughly about 2% more than comparable non-showcase listings in the marketplace, right? So again, all really powerful data, all data that we have co-branded with the Samson logo for you all to insert into your listing presentation and speak to your sellers about. And I think it's important to just pause here for a second and talk a little bit about the strategies. We've talked a little bit about them already, which is Yes, we created this product as a way to win more listing conversations, convert that seller, and sell the home quicker. We do have agents across the country that are utilizing this tool as a way to potentially negotiate a higher commission on the list side or extend that listing agreement on a stale property that's been sitting on market. So there's quite a bit you can do here in order to, hopefully increase your overall business and really impress your sellers, receive more referrals, so on and so forth. So I will pause there for a second. I did want to just quickly talk about the Samson Properties partnership and the benefit ultimately for you all in engaging with this product. And I will do this in the most quick and efficient way as possible. But if you do have questions, feel free to ask those in the chat, or feel free to direct those to your leadership team. And we would be more than happy to get those answered. So I want to talk just quickly about how agents, teams, and brokers engage with Showcase through our retail function. And what that means is if you are an agent in the marketplace, you can absolutely sign up for Showcase on your own, right? If there is availability in the marketplace. And what you're signing up for is a subscription. All right. So for the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia marketplace, that price point is $550 a month. Right. So the agent pays $550 a month. We are providing them one Showcase credit every 30 days in that 6-month commitment. Right. So a total of 6 listings over the course of 6 months. Right. You're paying $550 each month. There are a handful of agents that have signed up. All right. I'm not referring to Samson agents, but agents across the country that have signed up on a retail subscription through Zillow. Right. So not only are they contracted, but typically they want to add more than one listing every 30 days. Right. So, for example, Vanessa lists a property on her month 1 for $550. She then gets another listing at $1.2 million that she also wants to showcase in that same 30-day period. Right. What we're doing with incremental listing or ad hoc listings that are added is we are looking at the list price of that property. Right. It might be a little bit hard to see on my screen here, but anything over $1 million is actually an additional $950 to showcase through your subscription or your retail subscription with Zillow, right? So where I'm kind of going with this, it can get pretty pricey if you're doing multiple listings, obviously in a 30-day period. You are, at kind of held to the list price ultimately, which makes it a little bit more expensive, specifically with your price points in Northern Virginia as well as DC. So what's really nice about the Samson partnership is you guys get flat rate pricing. You're also at a discounted price point, right? So instead of paying $550, right, Samson offers this to their agents at $500 flat. Not only that, but you do not need to contract with Zillow, right? So you can truly utilize Showcase on a per listing basis as opposed to committing to 6 months with Zillow, right? The other side of it as well is it doesn't matter what your list price is, right? So if your list price is 1.5 million, right? Instead of Zillow charging you $950 for that ad hoc token, right? You guys can get that through Samson at a flat rate of $500. All right, so pretty powerful. And the brokerage has committed to volume, obviously, to extend discounts and make it easier for you as agents to utilize this product, again, on a per listing basis, as opposed to a contract directly with Zillow. All righty, I will pause there. That is it for me. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Kyle, and I will hop into the chat to help answer questions.
Thank you so much, Bobby. I am going to be quickly going over your photography options with our own in-house local real estate photography team, which is called Listing Media Services. And then also I will talk for just a little second or two here on what that looks like if you want to use your own photographer. Just to start off here, I do have our local real estate photography coverage map here for the DC and Baltimore regions. I believe Vanessa already dropped this link in the chat, but you guys can zoom in here. You can kind of see what our photo teams are already covering in your regions and areas over there. If you do click on, let's say, the little map marker here, we can actually see a quick look at how much our real estate photo media packages are going to cost you there. So they're pretty affordable packages when it comes down to it when you're comparing against some of the other providers in the region. And I also wanted to just kind of show you guys here before I talk too much about listing media services. What does that look like if you already have a photographer? Maybe you already have a current listing. I saw somebody in the chat mention that. And we do give you guys an opportunity to have your own photographers be able to shoot that Zillow 3D interactive floor plan for you. Maybe you have a really good relationship with some photographer in the area already. This is going to be your best bet here. And we will be able to share these links with you guys so that you can get this information over to your local photographers. So that's just kind of my little quick disclaimer when it comes to bringing your own photographer to get you the media that you need for your showcase listing. They are going to have a special 3D camera, either the Insta360 or the Ricoh Theta Z, which most photographers are already running one of those 3D cameras already. Then they just need to have a quick little onboarding, just training on how to do the Zillow 3D tour, which a lot of them are already doing it out there already. So what's going to be the easiest option for you, and also what's going to be the most affordable when it comes to getting media for your showcase listing? It's going to probably be using our own in-house listing media services, local photographer teams that are out there in that region. We are going to give you guys a special promo code just to try out if they are going to be able to cover one of your listings in those areas off of that coverage map. You're going to be able to get a 50% off your first order with us. And that promo code is Samson50. You're going to put that promo code in at the very end after you do our easy online booking. Our easy online booking is incredible. You just type in the address, the listing square footage, and then you'll see the packages. And as soon as you book that, it is 100% confirmed. And we do next day delivery on all of our services. So what are our services? Listing media services, we keep it really simple over here. We're going to give you all that interior and exterior HDR photography. You're going to get your Zillow 3D interactive floor plan. And then we also have options for you to maybe get some drone photos or drone video. Of course, you're going to have to check the FAA flight list for that to make sure your property is in a fly zone. And then we have some other cool services as well that I'll be showing you as we go through listing media services here. Bobby did give you guys a quick look at that interactive floor plan that, again, is going to be part of all of your showcase listings. I have a demo listing here, and you can kind of see how cool this interactive floor plan technology is. Listing Media Services actually used to be our old company that Vanessa and I used to work for. It was a national real estate photography company. So Listing Media Services, even though it's kind of a new name or might be new to you guys, the core of this company, Listing Media Services, has been around for over 8 years now. So our experienced photographers are going to come out there. They're actually going to roll up in a Showing Time Plus polo, and they're going to be extremely professional. And the work that they're doing is incredible. So this is actually a demo of a listing that we did with our Listing Media Services team. And that interactive 3D floor plan, I would say, is by and far right now the best 3D tour floor plan technology you're going to see out there. I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with Matterport, some of those other 3D tour cameras that you can get a 3D tour done with. The Zillow 3D interactive floor plan, though, kind of takes things to the next level. When we do deliver that media to you, or maybe you're having your third-party photographer provide the interactive floor plan for you, you're going to get a branded and an unbranded link. That one URL, though, is going to have a photos, a floor plan, and a 3D home tab up here at the top. So hopefully you can see that on my screen. And when you click into it, you'll see the photos here. And if I kind of show you what's really, really cool here, is you can see the exact spot that the photographer took the photo in the home. So we can actually tour the home on the floor plan by just clicking on these green squares, and we can actually see exactly where each photo was taken. We know we're in the kitchen. We know the dimensions of the kitchen because that 3D tour is going to get you those dimensions as well. And if I kind of cycle through the photos here, we can actually tour the home through the floor plan just off the beautiful photos alone, which is really cool. So if we hop over to the mudroom, we'll see the angle that the photographer took the mudroom photo. Same with the pantry. We can see that the photographer was standing right there in the pantry. So super, super cool technology. And what really takes it to the next level are two different things. Number one, you are going to get a floor plan file for free. It's a JPEG file. It's going to have all the measurements for your property right there on there. We also have all the fixtures. You'll see here on the floor plan tab, we can see that kitchen island. We can see the dishwasher, the sink, same with pantry fixtures. We even usually scan the garage as well. So you'll actually see any cabinets or anything in the garage too. And we are going to give you this JPEG file for free. We do see some agents actually including that at the end of their photos to have that floor plan as part of your listing images. Now, if we click over to the 3D home section, now we're actually in a 3D tour. And we can actually, just like we were doing with the photos, we can make the floor plan a little bit bigger here, and we can see exactly where we are looking in the 3D tour on the floor plan at all times. So that floor plan is going to be with the buyers the entire time that they're looking through the home. And potential buyers love this technology. It really helps them see exactly what this home is like before they even get there. So incredible technology. And then on the seller side, just like Bobby went through Showcase, you're definitely going to want to talk to your sellers about how incredible the Showcase product is. And I always recommend having one of these interactive 3D floor plan tours ready to go on a tablet, a smartphone, maybe on a touchscreen laptop, so that that buyer, I mean, that potential seller that you are going to hopefully get that listing contract with can see how awesome this technology is, let them play around with it and say, hey, as part of this Showcase listing, I'm also going to give you this incredible technology to really, really show off your home on all the websites out there, because you are able to put this in your MLS and share it on other websites as well. So that was just kind of a quick rundown of the Zillow 3D interactive floor plan. These do also look great on mobile. You'll kind of see some screenshots here of that. And that's where, of course, we all know that's where most buyers and sellers are doing all of their real estate research, is on their smartphones. And it looks awesome on there as well. Very easy to use. And that was kind of that on the interactive floor plan. I do have a quick, actually, before I show you guys the cool social media reel video that we are offering here at Listing Media Services, I did pull up our Washington, D.C. area photo examples, so you can kind of see what that quality of photography that our team is doing in exactly in your area. So if I click on this photo here, we can kind of see these are actual photos that our photography team in the DC region are taking for all those listings out there. So very, very high quality. We shoot our photos in HDR, which is called high dynamic range. Every one photo, we're actually taking 5 photos. We merge those together. They look absolutely beautiful. You can see out the windows. We also offer automatic free blue sky on all of our photography. So if we come out, it's an overcast day, or maybe there's a little bit of rain in the forecast, don't worry about rescheduling it. We're going to make the skies look blue. They're going to look beautiful. And even on those interior photos, if we can see some sky, we're actually going to make those blue as well. Because again, with our HDR photo process, you're going to be able to see right out those windows. Our photos are going to look absolutely incredible. And for getting those photos, these HDR photos that our editing team and our photographers are doing, they look amazing. And that Zillow 3D interactive floor plan at a great price. It's really going to help you guys leverage Showcase on as many listings as possible here for the rest of the year. So that's just kind of a quick look at what our photos are looking like in your exact area. And then when it comes back to what other products we are offering here at Listing Media Services, this is kind of a quick look at our social media reel highlight video. This is included in the Premium Plus package. So we are going to go through the packages in a second, but the Essentials package is going to be everything you need to get your listing showcased. We do have one other package, slightly more costs us a few more dollars than the Essentials package. That's going to include the social media reel highlight video. It's a 30-second video. We shoot this in portrait mode for you guys, so it's ready to go right away on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook stories, on X or Twitter. You can even put it on Snapchat and TikTok. I've seen agents doing that as well. I have an example here of what that looks like. We keep those at 30 seconds so that you guys can share those on all those social media reel platforms. Again, this is part of the premium package. Let me show you guys this demo here of it. It does have music. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but let's try for it. So a really quick 30-second video. If you didn't hear it, it is set to music. And we will deliver those with your photos in Zillow 3D interactive floor plan as well. So that's really an awesome thing that you get as part of that Premium Plus package if you guys wanted to order that package instead of the Essentials. We do also have some other really, really cool add-ons. The Virtual Twilight, which is also included in the Premium package along with that social media reel highlight video. You can also add that on to our Essentials package for only $20. We will give you 2 photos in our Virtual Twilight. That's where we make it look like a beautiful twilight great sunset photo, but we're actually using our photo editing skills to make it look like that. So again, that's part of the Premium Plus package, or you can just add that on for $20 to the Essentials package. Then our virtual staging, which I think our virtual staging is looking better than ever here the last year or two. We use hyper-realistic furniture in our virtual staging, so the furniture looks extremely realistic. We do give you a watermarked version of this so that you can see it says virtually staged up there in the corner. And then definitely check with your local MLS on any other disclosures you have to do when using virtual staging. But our virtual staging product at only $25 per image, you can actually order this as you're ordering an Essentials or the Premium package on our order form. And then our team is going to stage it for you. They do an incredible job. You do get free revisions on these as well. So maybe if you don't like some of the furniture pieces, just let our editing teams know. They'll actually fix it up for you. We can even stage outdoor spaces too. So if you have a backyard or a patio, and you definitely want to kind of spice up those photos a little bit on the exterior, we can also do our virtual staging out there with patio furniture, pizza ovens, fire pits, all the other stuff here. I think there's even a hot tub on this example here. So that's kind of cool with our virtual staging there. And then, just to kind of round it out here, here's kind of that breakdown of our two core packages. The Essentials Plus package, you're going to get everything you need there for that showcase listing, all your interior and exterior photos. We're typically shooting around 30 plus photos per home. We're going to give you more photos depending on the size of the home. So the pricing is not going to change, based on how many photos we deliver. Our pricing is based on the square footages of range of the home. And then we're going to give you that downloadable floor plan, that interactive floor plan Zillow 3D virtual tour that we went through. Then the Premium Plus package is going to give you all of that stuff, but you're also going to get aerial drone photos, virtual twilight ×2, and that social media reel highlight video. Then you'll see some of our other add-ons over there on the side. And then before I hand this off to Vanessa, just one more reminder, jot down that promo code Samson50, all one word. That will give you 50% off your first order with us over here at Listing Media Services. And I will hand it over to Vanessa now, and I will hop in the chat and answer any questions that any of you might have about our Listing Media Services. So thank you so much, everybody.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Lots of information there. Let's see, I think, do you guys see my full screen? Let's see, looks like might be on the wrong one. Hold on a second. We have a couple minutes left here. So I'm gonna go over mine just nice and quickly, but it's information that's all on Nest for you. So if you need it, you're good to go. So the first thing to do when you want to start a showcase listing is logging into app.showingtimeplus.com. We have already added your information. So you would click forgot password, and that's how you would finish setting up your account. If your email isn't recognized, go ahead and email Mary Alice. She can add you to the team, and then you'd be good to go. So even if you don't have a listing yet that's ready, we encourage you to log in. Even today, fill out that profile, add your photo, your bio, all those things so that you're ready to go once you have a listing that you want to showcase. If you have a listing in mind right now and you want to get started, you kick off the process by emailing Mary Alice. So just make sure you include that you want a showcase listing, the agent's first and last name, the full listing address, listing price, and square footage. She will then charge your card, send you all the information that you need, and then you would be ready to order the media on your dashboard. Pretty self-explanatory, but we do have a nice one-on-one training that literally takes you through the process from start to finish. I just put the link in the chat. It's on demand, so you can go in whenever you need it. If you just need the ordering process, and then once you get your media, you want to just watch the media editing process, totally can do that. Like Bobby said, AI picks the general images, but you can change whatever you want in those. We have a great support team here. So here's listed the phone number, the hours, and the email. We also have a third-party photographer support. email and phone number in that resource center that I link that I sent you earlier. So you're stacked up with plenty of people that can help you out. And then there's also myself that you can contact. I have my email on there. Up in the right-hand corner is a link if you wanted to schedule a meeting with me. But again, here's the on-demand ordering and showcase editing instructions. That's a QR code that will lead you right to the link that I posted in the chat. Just with, everything that we do at Zillow, we're trying to make your life easier as an agent. We're trying to get you exposure. We're trying to win you listings. So this product is a great way to do that. We also have co-branded marketing materials that we gave over to Samson. That's also on Nest. So check Nest out in our little section there, and you'd be able to see everything you need to get this going. I can stay on just for a few minutes if you all have some questions about ordering, but Mary Alice is definitely here to help you get that process started, and she has plenty of information and links and everything you may need. So yeah, if you want to just raise your hand if you have anything, I can again stay on for a few minutes, but if you have questions later, feel free to email me and I can definitely do that. Perfect. Kate, you can see the pricing of the packages. We have a link. I can send it again if I can find it. But we have, a list of the availability. So you can see a map and then the pricing is in there as well. Here, I found it and I'll just link that again for you. All right. I will put, thanks Kyle for putting my email in there. All right. Well, I have a meeting with Mary Alice after this, so I will tell her that
Vanessa,
Oh, yes.
it does look like someone has their hand raised.
Oh,
Let
I'm
me go ahead
sorry.
and unmute them.
Let's see.
Can you hear us okay? Feel free to
So,
unmute.
can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Najibullah Kushbin with Samson. I have a listing right now in Central Virginia. I put the address in the link. My listing does not have enough traffic. So I need everyone's advice here. The listing has great photos, but it has floor plan, but it does not have 3D link. So if you please tell me how can I get more traffic uh, through Zillow Showcase, or any advice is going to be useful for me, please.
Yeah. So first things first, and I think there was a question. I think you had posted a question in the chat. So if you do want to go the showcase route, we would highly recommend it. You would need to capture the Zillow 3D tour and floor plan ultimately for that property. So you can either do that through us and our media team, or if you have a local photographer that can capture that for you, that would be the place to start. And then in order to showcase that listing, once you have the floor plan and 3D tour, you would then go ahead and contact Mary Alice directly in order to get your showcase listing set up live.
Okay, sounds good. I have the floor plan in this listing, but I don't have a 3D tour. Is 3D tour required for the showcase?
It is, yes. All Zillow showcase listings require a Zillow 3D tour as well as a floor plan.
Okay, sounds very good. Can you please share Marila's phone number and email address in
Yeah,
the chat box?
Yeah, we can drop Mary Alice's email.
Okay.
Vanessa, can you drop that in the chat? It should, I would assume, be linked as well to any of the Nest material potentially in there. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like Mary Alice responded. So there's the email for you.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. Is there any other questions?
No, this listing is my only concern. I don't have a lot of traffic for this listing. It's a pretty beautiful house, and The photos are great. The price is very good. The only problem that I see right now is I cannot get a lot of traffic for the listing.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to showcase it for sure. I did look at the listing. It looks beautiful. So yeah, I definitely recommend reaching out to Mary Alice to get that process started for sure.
Okay, okay, sounds very good. I'll reach out to Marianne's.
Okay, thank you all. It doesn't look like there are any other questions, so we are going to go. But again, thank you all for tuning in. Definitely research more about Showcase. Reach out to Mary Alice in leadership if you do have any questions.
I still don't have Marianne's phone number or email address here in the chat.
It's in, yeah, let me send it to you. One sec here. Looks like our chat was closed potentially.
And again, regarding one-on-one training, who should I contact for one-on-one training?
Yeah, you can send me an email. That on-demand one-on-one webinar can be used whenever you're ready. Otherwise, we can definitely meet together. The utilizing credit part of it, Mary Alice will, do that for you. So once you need to order media or you have your media loaded, if you're going to use your own photographer, there is training for the photographer in that resource center. So I would send that to them first as your first step if they are going to be the ones going out to do that tour, to get that started, and then you feel free to reach out to me.
Can you please share your contact information with me so I will contact you. So Vanessa at the rate of Showcase. What's your email address, please?
Yes, it's Vanessa BE at showingtimeplus.com.
Okay. Very good accent. I'll reach you guys out.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for your help today.
Absolutely.
Awesome. We will give everyone a couple minutes back. Thanks again for tuning in. If you have additional questions, go to your leadership team. They can get in touch with us directly, and we will go from there. Hope everyone has a great week.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks all.
Okay.